This is the VO Life. Positive conversations about living the voiceover life. Insight into the business and day-to-day grind of being a regular Joe VO. From the humble beginnings to the finally hitting a new level to getting that first big client. It's all about that VO life. Here's your host, Troy Holden.
Hey, and welcome back to the VO Life. You know, it seems like it's been weeks since I've dropped a podcast, but it hasn't been that long. I think it was because I had so many coming out at once, and that's probably where that comes from. But anyway, glad to be back. I had asked you guys for some topics on the Facebook page, and I appreciate it. You guys dropped quite a few in. And I'm going to try to work on some of those, but many of those I'm not qualified to talk about, unfortunately. I would love to be able to talk more about marketing and more about branding and more about what clients are looking for and if there are new trends. And we're going to touch on that one today a little bit. And bookkeeping, taxes, rate negotiating. And I will say, if you'll go back to not only the VO Life, but go all the way back to the VO Ladder, and you'll hear some of those topics covered. And I do have some things on my Facebook page where I'm doing editing of some YouTube scripts, and please go find those. Troy Holden Voices on YouTube. Please go see those. Somebody asked for live recording of editing of jobs, and they're there. Another question was how to find auditions. I live in Missouri, and my LA friends seem to be killing it, and that is another subject. I'm a year in, guys. I don't know. I can tell you what I struggle with, and I can tell you what's going on with my climb, and I'm going to have other people come on and share that know more than me, and we'll try to cover some of those things. I don't know if you can hear it, but I can feel it. I've been outside most of the day. I cut grass. It's really dry and dusty, and I feel like I'm choking when I'm trying to talk. Hopefully it's not coming across that terribly, but I can really, really feel it today, like I'm raspy or choking or something. But I do want to talk a little bit today about the latest and what clients are looking for. And Michael Robbins brought this up because is conversational still the thing? Well, sure it is. There's no doubt that's still the thing, but I think it's even more conversational. Pull it back even more. Keep pulling it back. And I don't know about you guys, but that's hard to do sometimes because we get in front of the microphone and we change. And we don't mean to change. It's just a natural thing that there's a microphone there. And we're talking to the microphone and we're not talking to the person we should be talking to. So that, I think, is a trend, and I also feel like it's a challenge. The more personable you can get, the more you'll get booked. There's not much doubt of that in my mind, and I say that because anything I've been booked on in that type of work, that's what I've been told. You sounded very believable, very natural, and it probably wasn't my best, especially if it was a few months ago, because I'm just now learning to really pull that back and get it where it needs to be. And it's very, very difficult. It's really hard. Some of the best tips that I've gotten are the ones where you look away from the script and you close your eyes and imagine that person. And you really have to get into it and stay into it for the full time during the script. You can't ever come out of it. I mean, you've got to commit to it. And it's not easy, because it's almost not natural speaking into a microphone and not wanting to be formal and say things a certain way. It's just hard. It's just really cotton picking hard. And there's that Southern coming out, because it is. So is it what they're looking for? No doubt in my mind. You see it so much, but you still see, if you're on voices.com, you still see a lot of spokesperson. You still see the occasional announcer. You get the occasional voice of God, but just about everything, I'd say 80%. And I that may be low, is conversational. So that's what they want. So it's slow, right? And I think it's a consensus that the last 2 weeks of June and 1st of July even the veteran voiceover folks that I talk to, my coaches, people that I have the privilege to know and get to talk to them either by text or on the phone. Yes, it's slow, and they wholeheartedly are telling me that it's slow. But do you catch yourself making yourself way busier when it's slow? And I think we do that because we think it's a good opportunity to market more. It's a good opportunity to get some coaching. It's a good opportunity to work on demos, to work on some scripts for demos, to maybe work on some new video demos, to work on some new marketing techniques using those demos and using spots. I think one of the most heartbreaking things for me sometimes when I'm coaching is, well, you can't use that script for anything, only while we're practicing here. And I'll have one of my best reads ever, and I can't use it. So what I try to do is go write my own script of a non-branded thing. Let's just say, for instance, I'm just picking something out of the air. It was McDonald's, which it was not. And you did this great read on this McDonald's piece, and you're like, man, I can't use it. What am I going to do? You can, I don't know what the correct word would be. You're not plagiarizing exactly, but you can take the essence of that script and change it, and do not use that brand name. Don't even use a brand name, but take the essence of that script, what it was talking about. If it was talking about, how good something tastes or whatever, even if you only pull 10 seconds out of there, the best 10 seconds, find a part in there that is really, really good, that doesn't mention the brand, and can you reword it and use it without saying the brand, and then go back to that person and say, hey, I rewrote this. Would this be okay to use this? And get permission, because I think that is a very smart move. You don't want to step on somebody's toes. You don't want to upset people. They are trusting you when they give you these things to read, and they're trusting you're not going to use them if they ask you not to. So go back and say, I know this is kind of close to that, but it doesn't mention this. Do you think it'll be okay? And it probably will be, but please ask. I just think that's the right thing to do. Be sure you go and ask. So my recap for this month, the month's not quite over. It's the 27th. It might as well be, because I don't think I'm going to see a lot of action the last 3 days of the month. But my regular customers have been there. Thank you all so very much. I picked up a new direct customer for their phone system, and they're saying it's going to lead to more on their website and other stuff. And they are a pretty big outfit. I looked into them. I think that'll come around. But organically, it's been a pretty slow month. Now, I'm going to be fortunate. I'm not going to be where I was last month, but I'm going to be within a few $100, and that's pretty good, considering that it is slow. And as always, I'm looking to learn and get better. So I'm happy to understand that if this is a down time, and it's a down period, these last 2 weeks of June, first 2 weeks of July, or whatever it ends up being, I didn't go completely down. I still had quite a bit to do. Like this morning, I got up early and recorded 4 YouTube narrations for a direct customer, and they don't, guys, there are things that we don't want to publicize that we do probably sometimes, because if you feel like it devalues you. Well, some of these things you're doing to stay busy and keep money coming in. And that's the way I have to look at it at times. I don't have to divulge who it is or where it is, but as long as I've got that coming in where I can keep reinvesting in myself, I feel pretty good about it. I know where I want to go. I know where I want to land. I know where I want to get away from. But to do that and to be that type of VO, I have to have money coming in to invest in myself, and that's what I'm trying to do. So, yes, those 4 scripts only paid $100, but I was done with them in under an hour, and $100 an hour is pretty good money. When I look at what I make at a regular job, I don't make that in my day job. Of course, I don't make $100 an hour in VO every hour either, but you know what I'm saying. It's all in your worth, and this is also practice, because I'm almost to the point on these, I can read through them and make less than 3 mistakes. Sometimes 4, usually 2 or 3. So that means my editing is almost nothing. It's a matter of applying applying a couple of effects or denoise, and you're done. I mean, that's pretty much what I do. I've got a stack that's got denoise, DS, NS1, and a 10-band EQ, because I like to take a little of the lows out, because I'm a little, not bassy, but just the lows seem to be a little too much sometimes. So I adjust that. So it's almost raw audio. You're not having to do a lot to it. And if you're not making a lot of mistakes in the scripts, then you can move through them pretty rapidly. So, and it's also good practice reading long form narration. I don't do any audio books. I've got one guy that has asked me to do one, and he's actually put my name on the cover, and he's saving money to be able to do it. And it may happen and it may not. It's some kind of science fiction Western. And I read part of it and I liked it. And I said, if you'll work with me and give me time, because I don't know how I can fit it in, but if you'll give me time, I'll be glad to do it. So, that may pan out. We'll see. But I've got the cover. It's real cool. So, I apologize that I haven't dropped anything in the last few days. Just trying to catch up, trying to see where we are, what's going on, busy doing some coaching or getting coached. I do not coach. I get coached. That's the way that works. And building a promo demo is another thing I'm working on. So I was trying to find some decent spots and a really good mix of spots. I wanted a news lead in. I wanted, like for a news story. I wanted, something like Cartoon Network. I wanted like a sports lead in. I wanted to have a good mix on there, and it's almost done. I'm going to try to have it done by the first of the week and on my website. And that way, that's another avenue of I can go down and see if there's opportunity there for my styling and my voice and the way I'm doing those. And are they any good? I don't know. Am I good at that? I don't know. I will probably send it to somebody first that I know and that has a lot of gumption about that, so they can tell me, nah, I wouldn't put that out, and I'm fine with that. I'm just trying to expand my wings, I guess, a little. And if there's other things I can get into, if I have an ability to do it and it sounds like it should sound, then maybe I should get some coaching and go take some workshops and learn to do that on top of just commercial voiceover and narrations. Because I do really believe the more versatile you are, the better your chances, whether it's on the platforms that we're all on or whether you're doing voices.com, Voices123, you have agents and agencies who have multiple specialties, and it might enable you to go to different agencies that have other specialties. So, but, I guess that's it. I was just sitting here thinking, as I had worked through some of these topics, I really wish I could speak and be knowledgeable about more of those things, but I'm not going to mislead you. I'm just not going to come out and tell you I know something I don't. And if I could help you on something, I would. I really would. I would share. But a lot of that stuff I don't. So bottom line, from this crazy, discombobulated, all over the place episode, conversational is not going away. It's probably stronger than ever, and you probably have to be more conversational than ever. Pull it back, slow down, just pull back. Be you. I don't know if there's any better advice in this world than to be you. Be you, speaking to someone you would be speaking to. If this is a certain product and you normally would talk to your brother-in-law about that, or your brother or your mother or your wife or whoever, say it just like you would say it to them. You don't have to overact it. Just be you. Hey, I hope everybody has a wonderful 4th of July. I don't think I'll be dropping another episode before then, but I am going to be hopefully working on some interviews this week and having those ready to mix for the week after the 4th. Looking forward to a couple of different people being on and I've got to get those lined up tomorrow. I've been procrastinating and not getting that done, and they know it and I know it, but they've been busy too. So I'm going to reach out to them tomorrow and see if we can get those done this week, because I really look forward to getting those interviews out, because I think they're a help, and it's getting people out there that you may need to be in contact with to help you out. And that's what I try to do here. All right. Hey, everybody has said, have a wonderful 4th. Celebrate the country. Enjoy. Let's hope things get back on track. I'm not going to get political, but I think things are as messed up as they can be right now all over the place, with lumber prices and home pricing being crazy and all this going on. And it's just nuts. It's just nuts. And there are those who think it's good, and I'm very worried it's going to lead to something very bad. I hope it doesn't. I really hope it doesn't. But keep an eye on those things. It's all important, and it all affects what we do. Everybody have a great one. We'll be back soon with another episode of the VO Life.
You've been listening to the VO Life with Troy Holden. Check back for more episodes each week and catch up on what you've missed also. This is for you, those just living that VO life. Thanks for listening, and join us again.
This has been the VO Life with Troy Holden on Spotify, Apple, Google, and more.